Well, Dave, congratulations. It felt like a kind of workmanlike performance today, unspectacular but successful in the end.
Yeah, probably very similar to what the previous sort of 4 games have been, and another win, which is great. But I'm still gonna have the same, I suppose, same feeling. I said to the lads, I'm a rubbish winner. Because I suppose it's my job to make sure we're improving. And the one, like I say, question mark for me is I don't think I've seen improvement in the second half of games when we got ourselves into winning positions. And apart from one spell in the second half, that was exactly the same. And the longer that we continue to not back ourselves and just smash the ball forward from one end to the other and give up possession, we're gonna come unstuck against a team that should really, whoever we play against, if we've played or done what we've done, we should be out of sight against. Again, in my opinion, we've got away with it today. You can't be as functional, if you like, in the first half and get yourself into a 2-goal lead and then have zero control, and zero control equates to zero threat, because we gave the ball away and we allowed them back into the game, and over the course of the game, when you look at it, they've had, I think, more attempts on goal, more possession, more attempts on target, all them things which should never be the case based on what the first half form was. And I get people will change. They didn't change anything significantly. We were just not good enough and didn't show our best to manage and control that game. And like I say, it's good to be able to reflect on that after another win, because 5 wins on the bounce is a brilliant effort. But that doesn't mean I'm totally happy around what we're doing and how we're going about it.
I guess the biggest kick in the teeth would be that goal right at the death, because I know how much you love a clean sheet as a former centre-half, but that must have been painful.
No, it'd have been a lot painful if it come after 20 minutes of the second half, which it could have done, because if we're gonna, like I say, if we're gonna continue to behave in the second half like we have there, and give the ball away needlessly and make poor decisions, then you're going to allow a team to have possession and create chances against you, which we did. Again, I don't get anything for clean sheets. Makes no difference to me whatsoever. There'll be some maybe regret at the end of a season if you don't get to a certain position by 1 goal, when we've done what we've done in the recent games, and we've got 15 points, which is great, but we shouldn't be allowing the opportunities. We were lucky that we didn't concede before injury time. So from my perspective, I'm delighted that the goal came in the 90th minute, not in the 60th minute, because we'd have given ourselves something to do having started the second half as we did.
Tactically, I mean, Barnsley started with a back 4. I was expecting them to be a back 3, and they lost their way a bit in the first half. Second half, though, I mean, Darryl did make some changes, went back to the tried and tested, if you like, and they did put up a bit of a fight in that second half. Yeah,
you'd expect that, but what I wouldn't expect is then, if that's the shape, then ultimately that's match systems, isn't it? So that's easy. It becomes man against man. And units against units, and that would suggest that their units were better than our units, which says more about us than it does about them. So that's what I've got to look at. We spoke about it around people having to do different jobs. If you're not going to keep the ball, you're going to have to run, and there were players out there looked like they were flagging. So that's not a good combination. That's not a good combination. So, like I say, we'll look at it from our side of things and recognise what we need to do and where we need to improve, and we've got to back ourselves. If we're not playing with any belief now, having won 5 games on the bounce, you're never going to play with any belief. And I'm not asking them to take risks, huge risks. I'm asking them to make the right decision. The right decision to pass to your mate 5 yards from you and not smash it 70 yards up the pitch, sometimes off the pitch, then that's not a risky decision. That comes a problem with players not trusting either the person they're passing to or not trusting themselves to make that. Well, that's things we work on every single day. If we're not going to do that, we may as well not work on it every single day, because we're never gonna get better, and the idea is for us to get better.
I'm glad I've never spoke to you after 5 successive defeats. I'll be dead honest, but after 5 wins, you've got momentum, and perhaps it's a measure of of how far we've come that you're able to be critical at this stage, or have you always been like that?
Yeah, listen, I know it's not a good trait. We speak about celebrating successes, and I'll never get bored and get sick of winning. But I suppose I'm a fan as much as anything else, and I've got a vested interest in going. I see what we do every day in training, and I see some of the stuff that goes on, and when we need to be able to use it in moments of, at times in moments of stress and in moments of pressure, then that's when you need to see it. I don't need to see us bopping the ball around and having olays when we're 4 and 5-0 up. It's easy then, isn't it? I need to see it when it's 1-0 and when the games are close, and really back yourself to be able to do it, because we could, and there are teams that do it, are just really, really functional, continue to do that and play that. We haven't recruited to do that. We haven't got players that are best suited to do that. If we're going to do players that are best suited to do that, then I might as well get a team of 6'2" runners that will close down, win headers, all them things, and not get on the ball. That's not what we've done. So now there are times when you need to do different aspects of games, but there are times then when you need to back what you've got. I want to see us do that better, and that's not saying I want us playing and it being ridiculously risky. I'm asking them to do something that I see them do every single day. I just need to see more of it, and they need to believe in them being able to do more of it.
On a positive note, you did get Benno on today, you got Owen Moxon on today, but I really want to talk about Brad Hills if I can. He's got the Man of the Match award today, and as debuts go for a centre-half, that wasn't bad, was it?
No, he did well, and again, in I suppose not a strange position for him, but a slightly different one in terms of how we build, and he ended up as a right back a lot of the time. I suppose from our side of things, what we did, Cal's been doing really, really well as the middle one, and we didn't want to have too much upheaval in terms of how we went about it. I thought with that dynamic down the right hand side without Macca changes, and we ummed and ahed about whether being at home we needed to be more positive, but we ultimately brought Brad in, and we made the decision in the window that with us not being able to get a right wing back in, that Noilly would do a job for us there, if you like, and he's played there an awful lot. But no, Brad did what I expected him to do, to be honest. I've seen a lot of him. He wants to head the ball, he wants to defend, but also he wants to look like a good player, I think, and be composed in possession. That's the area where he doesn't need to improve. He needs to improve across his whole game because he's a young centre back. Yeah. But that's the area that I suppose Norwich see the improvement in him in terms of getting into their first team. So important that if that's the case, then especially for him and from a selfish perspective, he needs to be able to get on the ball and make the right decisions. But defended really, really well. Again, if you're talking about clean sheets, we're disappointed for him and the back line. But like I say, I'm looking at them taking responsibility and making sure there are build players. So they've got to demand that they get on the ball and play for us, and ultimately they're ones that have to keep the ball out the net. But no, really pleased with him. He'll benefit from obviously the 90 minutes. Trying to make sure he recovers now and is able to I suppose get into the routine of what he had last year of Saturday Tuesday. But a really positive start for him.
Good. Just finally, Bristol Rovers on Tuesday night. I don't know what you've made of them this season. It's a bit weird where they are. I always felt that they would be higher up. I think they've lost eight of the last 12. They did beat Portsmouth, of course, last time out. They've had they're having a weekend off this week, but some eye-catching signings in the transfer window, so they could be a different proposition when they meet you Tuesday. Yeah,
they did in the last window, the summer window. They obviously went a little bit younger with their recruitments. Not too dissimilar to ours, really. A lot of players that they signed were players that we'd spoken about and were interested in. So we went in a similar dynamic around recruitment. Obviously had a bit of a mixed start, ended up changing the manager with slightly different ideas around how they go about it. So they are different than when we played them here earlier in the season. It's obviously a tough place to go on a Tuesday night, long travel, but a real big prize at the end for us. So like I say, we'll do our stuff on them. We've done little bits, but we'll do our stuff on them tomorrow. And recover and prepare and go there looking to carry on this run. again, the dynamic around them not playing and us having a tough game today, you have to see what that looks like. Maybe that we have to mix things up a little bit, but we'll approach that tomorrow. Like I say, everyone else will enjoy today's win. I'll be a little bit grumpy and might allow myself to have a beer or two and then look over things tomorrow and look forward to Tuesday.
Well, when you do have a beer, I can tell you it's the first time since the mid-50s that we've won 5 in a row at this level of English football, so it's not a bad record, is it?
I wasn't playing in that game either, was I?
It's not bad. Thank you, Dave. All the best. Have a nice evening. Cheers.